Go. Good evening and welcome to tonight's instalment of the Fantasy League Show. I'm Anthony Bromley and this evening I'm joined by Adam Valentine.
Good evening.
Josh.
Hello.
And special guest Jim again.
Good evening.
We'll kick off tonight by going over the all-important results from the weekend. To start off, Josh lost again to Ben, 34-54. Hazard and Pedro contributed to Ben's massive win, with 40 points between the two. I mean, Josh, you have to feel a bit aggrieved. What's your feeling after the match?
Well, if Adam didn't get rid of Pedro, it would have been such a bad defeat. But, you just carry on going.
Jim, was that a bit of a laugh? Do you have anything to add into that?
Well, it shows when he said all he wants is a mid-table finish. Where is it? What does he want out of this season? Come on, you're expecting losses.
Adam, Jim obviously saying that Josh is expecting a mid-table finish. What do you think Josh needs to add to the side to, push him into that top half?
Quite a lot, to be honest. I mean, it's the result we all expected. I think we all predicted it last week. I think he needs to instill a bit of confidence in his team, to be honest with you, because, like Jim said, aiming for mid-table is just not going to be good enough.
Oh, and second fixture of the week was myself against Chris. Newly traded players obviously playing, and I got the win, 49-33. Zlatan actually got me 16 points, previously not scoring in 8 games, obviously a record since being at Inter Milan. With Chris being yet to win with his newly built side. Jim, what do you think's going wrong with Chris at the moment?
A bit like Josh, no confidence in the team. Too many changes, hardly meant to gel. He's after trade after trade after trade. He was bugging me on Monday. Must have been about 8 messages. Please, can I have Aguero back? Had to constantly say no, but the kid's not getting the message.
Following on from what Jim said, Adam, Chris not getting Aguero or Zlatan back at any time soon. Where's he going to get his goals from? Obviously, he has a good defence, but...
Yeah, that's a tough one. We know that Chris won with the best original draft last season, and I actually genuinely believe he'd be well on the way to winning that again had he kept his original team. You'd think he'd learn from that mistake. He hasn't done, and he needs a striker, but they're few and far between that are scoring goals in the Premier League at the moment, so it's going to be tough for him.
Now, Josh, I have to ask you this as I can't question myself. Do you think I had a rocky start to the season and, the players that I brought in could overcome it, or do you think there's more to be seen from everybody yet and, there could still be upsets?
There's more to be seen, and obviously upsets, they happen every week. With yourself, you drafted well. You just had unlucky results. I believe I beat you by 1 point.
You did, yeah. I think my first 3 matches I lost by 4, then 3, then 1.
It's just unfortunate when you get beat, especially by such a low result, because you feel you couldn't have done more. You got enough points to win. You would have beaten everyone that week, except the one person you played that week. So more upsets to come, obviously. No,
upsets would be fun to see, to be fair. We've had quite a few draws already. Speaking of one of those, Conrad versus Gaz, 27-27. Obviously, the big issue in this was Gaz, who dropped Defoe, who scored 10. Now, is that a case of bad management, or is it an unlucky decision, really?
I think it's bad management, because it was away at Bournemouth, and Defoe scored, I think it was 6 before the start of that game.
Mm-hmm.
And now, he obviously is in form, one of the in-form strikers in the league, which are hard to come by. And he decided to play Sturridge, who is benched at the moment for Liverpool. He came in and got 6 points, but still...
He's very lucky to get a goal against Watford, yeah.
You'd rather still have Defoe who's scoring.
Mm-hmm.
He has got a good few strikers, though. You got to say, Diego Costa, fantastic this season.
Gaz has a very good start.
Defoe, another great player, scores penalties, so guaranteed points. But I don't know about Sturridge. I can't understand why he played him. Fair enough that they're against Watford. Expect goals, and they did score goals. But Sturridge at the minute, no confidence.
No, Sturridge is a strange one to play over Defoe. Now, Adam, going on to Conrad's side and the big formation gate, what's your take on the matter?
Well, I think we should stick to the formations that are available on Sky Sports app. I think there's a couple that are already a bit fishy, and that's two being in midfield being one of them. So yeah, I don't know why we need to overcomplicate it really. And just going back for 1 second, I had a bit of criticism for Gaz there. Gaz was on holiday in the week, and he took his time out on his holiday to message me and say to change a couple of things around on his bench, but he didn't have the opportunity to actually change his lineup, which is why Defoe didn't play. So yeah, just a bit of defence for Gaz there.
But is that a case of bad management not reviewing the fixtures beforehand and knowing what fixtures are going to come up?
Possibly, yeah. But I mean, to be honest with you, Daniel Sturridge against Watford, the way Liverpool are playing, you fancy him to get a goal anyway. So.
Yeah, but as Jim mentioned, Sturridge being benched at the moment, again, is it a good call to play him?
I mean, obviously Sturridge got his couple of goals in the cup, so I actually thought that he might get a run of games after that, which is possibly his thinking. But yeah, other than that, I'm not really sure. But yeah, back to the formations anyway, and there's been a lot of moaning and a bit of upset, but I just think that if we keep it simple, stick to what's on the website, the app, and it should be fine.
Mm-hmm. We're going to have a touch on you versus Massey, Adam. Just a quick one. Massey obviously performing very, very well this season. He's, I think, pumping out consistently sort of 30 to 40 points a game. So, if anybody has a bad week, then realistically you don't stand a chance. Did trading Pedro away lose you this game, do you think?
Well, with Pedro's points, then I would have won, I think. So, yeah. But having said that, I might not have played him. So, it's hard to say. I didn't actually, looking at it, I didn't actually have a bad week. I still got into the 30 points. It's an average week. Obviously, Massey had a very good week. His Chelsea players in particular picking up loads of points. I had a few injuries. I think I only ended up playing about 7 players because of injuries and suspension. So it's just one of those weeks, I think, for me.
And Jim, where exactly is Massey's points coming from? Obviously, we know the players he has, but where are the standout players in that team that are getting him those points consistently?
You've got Lukaku, and then you've got Luck. Right, Lukaku, great player. All the rest, absolute dog shit.
I'd have to disagree there, Jim. His points are coming from the Chelsea players, mainly Matic and Kante.
Okay, look at the first place he picked up.
But you have to argue that Massey's draft wasn't done by him, it was done by Conrad, supposedly.
Massey didn't seem to complain at the draft, though, to be fair.
No, he didn't.
No,
so they have done well for him. What? Okay, let's talk about the first players he picked up. Does anyone have a list? Sorry.
Actually, not in front of me. I don't.
Bear with me.
Oh, right. You've got to say Iheanacho. Okay, he did okay last season, but he picked him up and it must have been the first 5 picks. Well, he didn't, but Conrad did for him. His team is it will plummet. It will plummet.
So you think when Chelsea stop performing?
Yes.
Massey's first 4 picks were Lukaku, Kante, Iheanacho, and Rashford.
Okay, look at them picks. How the hell is he doing so well in this league? Fair enough, Lukaku. But that's it. You're not expecting any of the others to get you points.
To be fair, his team was drafted very poorly, if that was my opinion, but you can't argue against results.
No, you can't, really. No, okay, and last fixture of the weekend, yourself, Jim, versus Ben. You won the second time. I can't remember how many wins you got last year, but I mean, you must be touching on a record wins for a season already. How does it feel?
That's 3 on the bounce now, and I've never been higher in my life. Honestly, I was out celebrating Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, absolutely bladdered. I felt like Conrad. Oh, a mess. No air left. Speaking like I smoked 20 a day. Oh, friggin' hell. It was good. I'm still celebrating now, to be honest.
And Josh, obviously, Ben dropped points. He is up the other end of the table to ourselves. Is this a run of bad form that he's starting to hit, or do you think
his season personally relies on Philip Coutinho? Well, that's it. I think Coutinho performed, and I don't know. I just don't look at his team. I don't see where the points are going to come from now, apart from Coutinho.
I think it's a fair point.
Coutinho and De Gea.
Well, you look at De Gea and United; they're not performing well, are they? They're not keeping clean sheets as often as you expect United to do. So,
True.
Just looking at Coutinho's the key to him.
Can I ask a question? Sorry.
Of course you can, Jim.
The keeper rule.
The
Okay.
keeper rule.
So on Sunday night, I did swap my keeper for Dimitri Payet.
Mm-hmm.
The first question is, did I get the best bargain at that deal?
No.
Nope.
Why?
Neither of you really got a good deal out of that, if you ask me.
Well, because you got a Dimitri Payet that hasn't been performing this season, and Adam got a Bravo that hasn't been playing well at all.
And the rule of when do I need to get this next keeper?
the rule
My
is for this
understanding of the
season-
rule is before the match.
Yeah, before the next game, you have to have 2 keepers in your team.
Right. Okay, I'm happy with that.
Okay.
Do a bit of scouting this weekend.
Now, normally after the fixtures, obviously we would go towards the next fixtures. We look towards what's coming this week. But as everybody knows, it's international, which means absolutely nothing's coming, and we have a weekend of the week.
No, it means
Oh.
something's coming.
Nothing
means-
is coming, Jim.
It means injuries are coming.
That is true. Injuries are coming. Actually, we'll just touch on that quickly. Sanchez, Adam, how massive of a loss is this going to be for Conrad?
I think it could be quite pivotal, actually. Arsenal have started playing very well, and Sanchez has been a focal point in that. So yeah, Sanchez is a big loss for Conrad, definitely.
Now, go on, Jim. Sorry.
Anthony, could you thank our caller, please, for breathing like a walrus? Because he's now giving me a headache.
Jim would just like me to thank you, Adam, for breathing like a walrus.
Okay, I'd like to thank Jim for his goalkeeper for late Christmas.
Okay. Getting back to the football. So with it being an international break, we're going to just touch on England. Obviously, interim manager Gareth Southgate, and just wanted a couple of opinions on the team that he's picked. So we'll go to each of you. Adam, seeing as you managed to grab a goalkeeper, let's get your views of Joe Hart, Tom Heaton and Jordan Pickford. I mean, the obvious choice of who's going to be starting, but how do you feel about the other two? Is that a potential for England for Pickford?
Well, yeah, Tom Heaton obviously deserves his chance, deserves his call-up. He's been nothing short of fantastic for Burnley. And Jordan Pickford as well, he's a young goalkeeper. Why not give him that experience of being with the squad? Obviously, you'd think Joe Hart's going to play, but I wouldn't be disappointed if Tom Heaton played, to be honest. So yeah, the future of English goalkeeping could be quite good.
I mean, Pickford, arguably one of the best keepers in the league this year, is still on the freeze at the moment. He's been getting about 4 points a game just because obviously they concede, just the amount of saves that he's making.
Yeah, I think that's the reason though, isn't it? Because he's never going to keep a clean sheet because of how Sunderland are, so that's probably why.
And we'll go to Josh for the defenders. So there's Ryan Bertrand from Southampton, Gary Cahill, Nathaniel Klein, Aaron Cresswell, Jagielka, Michael Keane, Danny Rose, John Stones, and Kyle Walker. First of all, Josh, is there any surprises in that?
Probably Michael Keane, really. Maybe Aaron Cresswell. I mean, Cresswell's been out of injury, and Michael Keane plays for Burnley. I mean, it's still bizarre that Danny Simpson's not going to call up after winning the league with Leicester. But aside from that, you look at Kyle Walker, Gary Cahill, probably Jagielka or Stones, and Danny Rose as your back four.
See, I think myself that Jagielka's a bit... I think he's gone too far now. I don't think he's got much left in the tank for England, realistically. Now, saying that, Michael Keane would be the other choice at centre-back. Is he good enough, Jim, to fill in for England full-time?
He does play for Burnley, right?
He does play for Burnley.
Yeah, answers your question.
So no. Okay, Jim, we'll go to you for the midfielders then. So called up are Eric Dyer, Jordan Henderson, Jack Wilshere, Adam Lallana, Jesse Lingard, Wayne Rooney, Raheem Sterling and Andros Townsend. Any players there that you think are missing?
Not missing, no. You've got the vital players. I don't want to be biased here. You've got the Wayne Rooneys, you've got the Jordan Hendersons. I'd play probably them two in the middle of the park and throw in Lallana.
Now, Adam, rumours flying about that Gareth Southgate has said that Kane is looking to be the next England captain when Rooney's retired. How do you feel about that?
Well, obviously, I know the boy quite well. He's one of my players. He is a super player, and I don't know whether he's a natural leader, but that remains to be seen. You know, people forget he's still a relatively young lad, so I suppose. I thought Henderson was going to take that mantle on, but he might not be in the manager's plans. So, if anyone, Kane can lead the line, then yeah, fair enough. Hope he does well.
Now, speaking of Kane, obviously one of the strikers that was called up. The others being forwards, Theo Walcott, Marcus Rashford, Daniel Sturridge and Jamie Vardy. Jim, anybody missing from that?
Could you pass that question on to Josh, please? I was busy doing it.
Same to you then, Josh. Theo Walcott, Harry Kane, Marcus Rashford.
I wouldn't
Daniel
say missing people. I'd say more of the lack of people, because the only people who've been playing consistently and scoring at the moment is Theo Walcott. And as we all know, he is not a central striker.
He is not. Now, Walcott there being the only out-and-out winger that is named in those forwards, the other four being out-and-out strikers. I mean, Daniel Sturridge obviously able to play on the left, but does that say something about how Gareth Southgate is going to get this team lined up, Adam?
Sorry.
Well, I hope so, because I've been saying for a while that England should play with two up top, up the middle. Especially someone like Jamie Vardy it proved it with Leicester last year. He plays so well with someone to work with. Kane and Vardy for me would be the perfect two for that. Going forward, bit of pace, bit of height, bit of movement, you know, all that kind of thing. So fingers crossed, Gareth Southgate is going to go that route.
I mean, obviously talking about Southgate a bit, does anybody think that he's got an actual chance of being named the next England manager, or
yes,
if not, where should we look?
He does, because he's a yes man, and the FA can manipulate him to do what they want, because he doesn't have a backbone. Like he's proved nothing, so why should he be England boss? And he got the job on a technicality because of the big Sam incident. So we're stuck with Gareth Southgate, who's never won anything as a manager, and now. What's he going to bring to the side that's different from what Roy Hodgson did or Sam Allardyce did in his short time?
Okay, I mean that's enough international for everyone. So let's just get back to the actual fantasy football side of things. Big news from Ben's side at the moment. Philippe Coutinho is going nowhere. Now, previously, he said he would have accepted Lukaku, Costa, or Aguero for him. He has since been offered Aguero and turned it down. I mean, does this show how vital a player that Coutinho is for Ben at the moment? Or is it more just the value that Ben is instilling in him, Josh?
Obviously, he's the top goal scorer at the moment. Point scorer, 107. So, technically he's the best player in the Premier League on points-wise. And, as I said before, he's the key to Ben's success this season.
At the time, an injured Giroud was the only offer accepted. Jim, do you feel like you could have potentially pried him away at the time and you didn't realise what an opportunity it would have been?
I don't know where these rumours have come that I offered Aguero. These are just all transfer rumours, maybe paper talk, because that never happened.
To be fair, Jim, you put it in the chat.
I said I might. I don't know where this came that I did offer. I said I might offer. It was just I was contemplating maybe swapping Aguero for an in-form Coutinho. But you're looking probably points for the rest of the season. I still think Aguero will edge more points. He will get more points.
I mean, just to touch on that quickly, Jim saying that Aguero is going to be top point scorer for the season. Adam, do you have any idea who you feel could be top point scorer for the season?
Again, I think it could be Costa, actually. I think that Ben, when he wanted to potentially trade Coutinho out, the only player that I think would probably have been worth it would have been Lukaku, because he was out of the three that he was actually wanting. He was probably the most underperforming player. In an ideal world, you want Aguero and Coutinho, don't you?
Mm-hmm, you do.
But that's never going to happen. I think Costa will be top point scorer, because I think Chelsea have got a good chance of winning the league.
Okay, I mean, you didn't mention your own player, Harry Kane, there. I mean, are you worried that he might get another injury, or do you just think he's had too much of a late start to the season?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's missed a couple of months, so that's going to set him back goals wise. and I also don't know advertise him as being the best player in the league. So I'm keeping him out of the headlines, I think, so no one comes knocking on the door for him.
Josh, obviously we're touching on Coutinho, it'd be stupid not to. Liverpool, they put 6 past Watford. It was an absolute bloodbath to watch. Top of the league as it stands going into the international break. Is it finally their season?
Well, it was their season in 2008, 2009. I think it was 14 and 15, and look what happened then. They slipped up at the final hurdle. I mean, firepower going forward look unstoppable. They look more threatening than City and Arsenal, sorry. But they concede goals every game. They've kept 1 clean sheet in 11 games thus far. So it can, I don't know, I just can't see them continuing to outscore their opponent every game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I disagree. I kind of class Coutinho, Firmino and Mane as the next Luis Suarez, Messi and Neymar. I can see a massive comparison of those 3 strikers. The 3 lots of them. I honestly think Liverpool will outscore everyone and win the league.
Mm-hmm. Well, Liverpool are top goal scorers at the moment. Obviously, those front 3 being key players for them. Adam, what happens when they get an injury or a suspension?
Well, that remains to be seen, I think. I still think they need an out-and-out goal scorer. Did I hear right then, Jim, comparing the Barcelona front 3 with the Liverpool front 3?
He did.
Well, I know he said before he'd never been that high, but he definitely is high now, if he thinks that. Injury-wise, if they lose Coutinho, then that's the big one, I think. I think they're going to lose Mane for the African Cup of Nations at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose that's going to be the first test of how they cope without him.
Okay, I mean, obviously Sturridge would be one of the obvious ones. Josh, do you think that he's not even got a starting place in Liverpool anymore? Has he been on the bench?
No, you can't drop one of the 3 at the moment to play Daniel Sturridge, who's out of form.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he looked good when he came on, but Watford were already defeated. But so you just can't drop one of the 3. I mean, all you can probably do is maybe drop Coutinho back into central midfield, Firmino out the left, and then Sturridge up top. But there's no need to change a winning formula.
No. A segment that I'd just like to add in each week now, just very quickly. Opinions of who is going to win the league. Jim?
We talking fantasy or are we talking Premier League?
Actual league.
Liverpool.
Josh?
Chelsea.
Adam?
I have changed my mind to Chelsea after watching them last week.
Okay, Chelsea. So Josh and Adam agreeing. We'll go to Josh first. Why Chelsea?
Look unstoppable. He's got Conte's gone to the 3-4-3. He's got Hazard playing his best football since Chelsea last won the league. He's got Diego Costa scoring again. I mean, the balance of the side is incredible. You think 3-4-3. I mean, Van Gaal tried playing it last season. Didn't go well. Did not go well for the lad. So now you look at Chelsea and how they're playing it. It looks like a breath of fresh air because we're so used to seeing like a 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1. It's just nice to see something different and it work.
No, Adam, Chelsea line in second, which was a surprise to most people. I mean, I honestly thought they were around 5th at the moment. How long do you see this running continue?
As long as they keep defending like they are, I think that's the key to a championship winning team. You have to keep clean sheets, you have to defend well, and they are doing at the moment. They've not conceded a goal for over a month, and if that keeps going, then they will be unstoppable.
So nobody mentioning City really. I mean, they slipped up against Middlesbrough, conceding in the last minute. I mean, what's gone wrong, Josh?
They just don't look as dangerous as you expect them to look. I mean, look at Pep when he was at Barca and Bayern Munich, that scored for fun. But the way he's playing, teams in the Premier League are set up differently to how they are in Germany and Spain. So there just seems no cutting edge in the side. It's like they can't seem to break teams down. It's been Arsenal's problem for years. They can't score enough goals. Obviously, this season's different, but I just don't see them being dominant like you expect them to be under a Pep Guardiola.
I mean, Jim, it seems a regular occurrence slipping up. I mean, what does Pep have to do to get them back in the fighting spirit?
I I would probably play 2 up front. I think they need another striker in the January transfer market. Aguero is injury prone, and they can't rely on everything just on one individual.
I mean, the name that's obviously in the transfer papers at the moment, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. You know, he had fallen out with the manager at Dortmund. However, came back this weekend and scored 4. Adam, do you feel there's anything there, or is it somewhere else that City are going to be having to look for another striker?
Well, first of all, it's interesting that Jim is looking for a replacement for his own player. That is interesting. But yeah, I mean, if anyone's going to come in, that City's got the money to do that. We all know that. Is Aubameyang going to want the Premier League challenge? Possibly. Do Dortmund want to get rid of him? Probably not. Might they have to? Yeah. It would be good to see him in the league, that injection of pace and what have you. But to be honest with you, I have got a soft spot for Aguero, so I do hope he stays longer than it looks like he might.
I mean, another big rumour flying about already is for Mourinho's United. Antonio Griezmann, sorry. I mean, Jim, how good of a prospect is that? A, to become into the Premier League, and B, when the waiver wire's standing.
I've heard that in the paper today. That Griezmann's been talking to Pogba a lot about United, so he is fancy United. And is it Chris with the waiver wire again?
I believe it is Chris, yeah.
So if you offer him a really poor defender, that means you might have a chance of signing him off him. That's what he likes to accept for his plays these days.
I mean, talking about bad transfers with Chris, we'll just go over to Ibra quickly. Obviously, Adam had the start last week. He did finally score a brace. Is this the end of his goal drought, him being a confidence player, or was it just one good match against Swansea? Adam, what do you think?
Swansea are struggling, aren't they? So you'd have to wait until they play your Tottenhams, your Liverpools, your Chelsea's, your big teams to see if he is really up for it. I think he's going to do okay. But you never know in this league. We said last week it's a tough league, so who knows? No,
I mean, I think things finally looking up for Mourinho, Josh. Or again, like the Ibra situation, was it just one good game?
I don't know. I mean, they beat Swansea 3-1. I mean, but aside from that, they scored 1 goal in October. They got Arsenal next. That's a real test. And I think with Arsenal, Mourinho loves beating Wenger. So I don't know what's going to happen. I think if they beat Arsenal, then great. I think they'll carry on going. But if they lose, I think it's just back to square one, really, isn't it? More scrutiny for himself.
So now, touching on the new rules that are going to be coming into place. The international break. With injuries happening, more so to more players, there is call for injured players not to count into your 2 transfers a week. The international break would already bring in an extra 2 transfers. So obviously, because it's 2 weeks, you'll have 4. I mean, is it not a no-brainer, Josh, to say that, so many players can get injured internationally that we need a new rule for it?
It would be that, but people don't want the new rules, so obviously everything's done by a vote, so it's not going to come into effect. So, I don't know. I wouldn't mind the rule, but I just don't think it's going to come in.
Well, touching on other rules as well, Jim, the 6 in midfield, I don't think A, we had your take on it, and B, do you think it should be run the way it's being run at the moment, sort of a democracy if somebody has an idea?
Yes, I like the vote, so we get everyone's opinion on the matter. But the 6 in midfield, what would that be? Would that be 3, 6 and 1 up front?
It would be 3, 6 and 1, yes.
I think that's acceptable. I also think acceptable is 4-2-4. I think that's also acceptable. That's a good formation. And the formation I played at the last weekend, caused a bit of havoc with other players.
Which one was that one again, sorry?
I played 5-2-3.
Oh, 5-2-3, yeah.
I played 2 in midfield, which I thought was legit.
5-2-3 is a valid formation. Wales play it.
I asked Adam, is this formation legit? He also said yes.
And I suppose... Sorry,
it caused a bit of aggro. People jealous about my team, I think. I don't know.
Well, I suppose this season we've seen the 3-6-1 with Pep. genuinely playing 3 defenders, and then the 6 midfielders and Aguero up front by himself. I mean, Adam, where do you stand on a real formation or a fake formation, let's call it?
Well, some of these formations have been seen on FIFA, haven't they? The 4-2-4 in particular. I don't think I've ever seen... I mean, obviously, teams have 4 strikers on the pitch in the last 5 minutes when they're chasing a 1-0 deficit or something like that, but it's not a formation that a manager would start a game with. So I think therefore it shouldn't count. I think we should stick to what is said by the formations, as I said earlier, that are set out by the Sky Sports Fantasy app, because they're the rules that we're following 90% of the way. So we might as well go whole hog with it, I think.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, does anybody have any extra thoughts on a potential change that could improve anything?
Yes, I've got a potential change. The league table at the minute, it goes in order, and if you're on the same points, it doesn't go off points difference. It goes on your total of points this season. Surely, I thought it would be points difference.
I mean,
I can answer that.
Yeah, Adam.
Because the points totals are what normal fantasy league is run on.
Yeah, but sorry, Adam, can you hear me?
The amount you beat is only the points difference is the amount you've been beaten by or win or whatever by. So, or lose by. Sorry. So that's only like goal difference. So first of all, it's points, blah blah, then goals, and then that kind of thing. So
I've got
suggesting anything different is a bit daft because it's just the logical way of doing it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think it is, because in the Premiership you go off goal difference if on the same points. You don't go off goals scored, do you? Everything's worked off goal difference.
I mean, it is a fair point. It's just the way obviously we ran it from, like Adam said, it was what all the fantasy leagues do. I mean, if you'd like to raise the point and see what people say on it, it would be interesting to see. I think the main thing is the points difference is how you performed against other people. Compared to how you're performing yourself.
You should be judged on how you perform against other people.
I actually think you're already judged by how you're performing against other people, because that's your points, your 3 points, that you get for a win, point for a draw. That's judged on that. Then it's your own individual performance, and then if those are tied, then you have the goal difference, the points difference, to back that up. So it's set out perfectly right, and any other suggestion is bananas. And again, probably someone who's high suggested.
So you're telling me, Adam, that Liverpool at the minute are happy, not with the goal difference, like, screw the goal difference. Oh, look, we scored about 100 goals. Oh, who cares about goal difference anymore? No,
but it's
Liverpool...
not the goals. The fantasy league isn't goals scored, is it? It's points scored. That means your defence, the whole thing.
Teams look at goals differently. I think the league table's so wrong. I would like to bring this up.
I mean, I don't understand your point, Jim, because your goal difference, or points difference rather, is absolutely shocking.
So I should be...
But it's shocking still.
So I should be punished for that. But instead, I'm getting it left alone.
You're wrong. I mean, you're just wrong.
Right, I'd like to make a discussion about this.
Well, we can have a discussion, and I presume a vote will be made. Hopefully not like the vote we've seen today already.
Can I just ask a question? What actually happened with that? Because I haven't seen the result.
No, I was on about the Trump vote.
I thought you meant the more important one.
To be fair, I think that the poll is still running in regards to the international.
Okay.
So we'll see how that runs out. So after the international break, we're going to have the next round of fixtures, which are Ben with 2 ends versus Conrad, myself versus you, Adam, Josh versus Massey, Gaz versus Jim, and Ben, top of the table, versus Chris. I mean, Josh, any standout fixtures during that for yourself?
Not really. I mean, it's all jump around the table. Everyone's playing everyone, aren't they? There's no top of the table clashes or anything. So myself first, Massey. I'll back myself to beat Massey.
So Josh, you with a win against Massey. Adam, myself against you. I mean, realistically, how do you think that's going to pan out coming up?
Well, a lot of it depends on who comes back or escapes from international duty. Obviously, you won last week with quite a good score. I was beaten with an average score, so I'm looking to bounce back. Again, it's a waiting game, really, isn't it? To see who's fit, who's available. But I'm looking at the table. I should win that game.
Okay, Adam, confident. Jim, do you share the same confidence going up against Gaz this week?
3 wins out of 3. I don't think I've got below 40 points in the last 4 games. I'm the best form I've ever been on. Gaz is relying on one player and one player only, Costa.
Costa, but away at Middlesbrough.
Could be tricky. But I'd say the easiest win someone's got this weekend is top of the league again. Did you say it's against free falling Benson?
It is against Benson, yeah.
Yeah, I like to call him free falling because he's absolutely useless. 3 points guaranteed. Whoever plays him every week, 3 points.
So you think Chris is the new Jim?
Yeah, I can't see him picking up more than 20 points this season.
Scary prospect. I mean, was Chris first pick this season?
Yep.
He was nearly the first one to quit as well.
And he is, as Jim described, free falling. So we're just going to touch on the upcoming fixtures. So we have United versus Arsenal. Now, obviously, I called the Arsenal-Tottenham match a brawl draw. That's what I thought it would be. I was wrong. Obviously, it was a 1-1. Adam said it was an absolute thriller. Adam, what's your views on this, do you think?
I can only see Arsenal win that game. I just don't think Man United are performing. Mourinho's not got them. Obviously, they won last weekend, but I think it's a very poor Swansea side. Arsenal are playing well. Obviously, Sanchez being injured is going to come into that. Who's he going to play? Giroud at the start? Probably. Walcott's on form, so that's okay. They've got cover with the Ox as well for the wide positions if the Welby doesn't play. So yeah, Arsenal for me for that one.
Jim, Watford-Leicester. Obviously, Watford coming off the back of the massive defeat against Liverpool. Do they stand a chance against Leicester, who haven't hit form?
Watford win, I'd say. I always like backing teams who have just been annihilated the week before. They've always got to fight back. They've always got to find their inner belief for the next game to show not just them some support, confidence, but the fans. The fans need to be, thrilled again, we'll say. I can see maybe Watford winning 2-1 and scraping a win.
So Watford 2-1. Josh, Southampton-Liverpool. The opposite sort of fixture to the Watford-Leicester. Are Southampton going to be able to hold off Liverpool, do you think?
I think so, because Puel has done a great job at Southampton. I mean, they sit 10th, but they still look good how they play football. I mean, you expect Liverpool to go over there and thrash them 3-0 or something, but they lost 2-0 away at Burnley again. So anything could happen in the Premier League.
No, anything can. Stoke-Bournemouth, Adam. Both teams have had a varied start to the season. Stoke picking up some good points against United and some fairly decent wins against Swansea. And Bournemouth picked up that massive win against Hull, but then, not really be able to kick form against other teams. Where do you think this is going to go?
I think this could be a draw, actually. Bournemouth need to bounce back. They've had a couple of bad results recently. Conceded some sloppy goals. Stoke, they looked okay last week on telly. So I think I'd put a 1-1, 2-2, something like that.
So 1-1 or a 2-2. We'll go next to Everton versus Swansea. Jim, can you see anything other than an Everton win?
Yeah, Everton win. I can't see Swansea picking up form at the minute. Lukaku should score at least a brace. Maybe Balassi. Unfortunately, Adam might gain some points with this guy. Everton 3-0.
It's Everton 3-0. Next game, I believe, is Sunderland versus Hull. I mean, obviously, a must-win for either side for the relegation battle. But, Josh, which side is going to win, do you think?
I don't know. Both teams won last weekend, which is you wouldn't think to say. I mean, they both won 2-1 against the opposite number, so I think a draw would be fair. But Sunderland, need the points more than Hull at this moment.
So Sunderland need them more than Hull, you think? Is that due to
well, Sunderland are 5 points adrift at the moment from Hull, who was 18th. So I think if they get the win against Hull, they can keep kick-starting their season.
So, Jim, is this the season that Sunderland finally do get relegated, even though they've finally managed to land their man Moyes?
No, I reckon the 3 teams to go down will be Swansea, Burnley, and Leicester. I think Leicester will be relegated.
So, Adam, Jim fancying Leicester to be relegated. How do you feel with that?
Nah, I think there's 3 worse teams than that. There's considerably worse than 3, more than 3 teams worse than them. I have to disagree. I think some of them will get relegated with Swansea, and I think Burnley have got the potential to pick up good points. So I think it could be Hull. 3rd one.
We'll go to a fixture that's the other end of the table. Crystal Palace versus Man City. City need to bounce back. Obviously, we saw what happened when they did bounce back against West Brom. Josh, is this going to be another bloodbath, or do you think City might not be able to do it this time?
You expect Pep to rally the troops and just beat Palace to a pulp, really. I mean, Liverpool scored 4 against them, so why can't City, really?
No, and Jim, last fixture of the week. Oh no, sorry, it's not last fixture. I've skipped a few. Jim, we'll just miss off Chelsea. It's fine. Jim, Tottenham, West Ham. Obviously, you recently signed Payet. Must be interested to see if he can do anything for you.
It's not just Payet. I've also got Cresswell, who is a very good defender. So I will listen to any offers. By the way, I'm not just hint. But I can see West Ham finally getting a win. They're struggling at the minute, but now Adam's finally let Payet out of his leash. He should be on fire.
Next game, Middlesbrough versus Chelsea. Josh, anything other than Chelsea win?
Chelsea win. 4-0.
4-0 away at Middlesbrough.
Yep.
Adam has a little giggle there. I mean, can you see anything else, Adam, there?
No, I think he's spot on, actually. I think it'll be a big Chelsea win to 0.
One of the more actual interesting fixtures of the weekend, West Brom versus Burnley. These type of games come all down to tactics, with Tony Pulis somehow managing to pull out points from nowhere, and you've got managers like Sean Dyche who go away or at home, manage to keep a clean sheet. It's teams like Liverpool, Jim, do you fancy West Brom or Burnley for this?
I did predict Burnley to go down, so I can see a West Brom win. Maybe Chadley stepping up, or does Berahino still play? I've not heard much about him.
Berahino is still there, but I don't believe he still plays at the moment.
We've got Rondon, haven't we? We'll say Rondon first goal and 2-0 West Brom.
Rondon first goal and a 2-0 West Brom. Okay, now our random trivia of the week, as supplied by Josh. Swedish club Djurgården, celebrated the final win of the season by engaging in a snowball fight with more than 3,000 of their fans standing at one end of the stadium. Thanks for that, Josh.
Interesting.
Okay, well that's good night, and I've been your host. Thanks to Adam.
Good night, thanks.
To Josh.
Good night.
And to special guest James Lee again.
Thank you.
And most importantly, thank you for listening. Have a great night, and remember, it's more than just a game.
Donald Trump!